we will be feeling the effects of the Pink Supermoon this week for the Karen Reed trial 2.0. Here it comes, quicker around the corner than what we really even thought. Today is Sunday, April the 13th, 2025, and we are preparing for a very interesting week with this moon still pink. And now we're feeling the very shadow of the Mercury retroshade. Yes, we are in a Mercury retrograde shadow until the 26th. Well, all I can say is this: the moon remembers what the world forgets. And when justice slips through the cracks, Mercury will begin to whisper. Stay with me, because there's a lot I have to unpack and some very interesting things that you'll want to see. We are definitely here. The pink moon is in Libra. Mercury is entering the fiery sign of Aries, and Jupiter in Taurus is sextile Saturn in Pisces. Now that's going to be on the 18th. And no, I am not an astrologer, but what I do is I watch, because these will affect Karen's trial. Will these things be favorable? Yes. Yes, they will be. And especially this retroshade aspect that we are in with Mercury right now, because Mercury brings the past to the present, and it has to be delivered. It's not one of those things where it's going to just get to the little starting line and then, well, fizzle out. We've got a lot going on, and there's a lot happening. And last night was very interesting. I'm going to talk about that. But another thing is Venus is direct in Pisces now. This is an exalted place for Venus, and in comparison, divine timing. That's right. This is an emotional manipulation from the CW. What we will see this week is the CW picking and prodding for the defense to become combative. And if the defense can just hold out and keep it together, this will be a very grounded, clear week, and the truth will definitely come out. And they will put emotion to the side, and their strategy will work with the planets and the stars and not against it. This is going to be dramatic this week. And I guess that's why I'm a little dramatic now. So here we go, my darlings. I have some card decks out here. You know all the players in the pool. Tell me what you think. Ooh, that is from my hand, but I don't like the way that looks. My darlings, here we go. I'm going to lay out the kipper first. Spirits, guides, angels, we'd like to know exactly what it is that you have in mind for this week. What's going to be happening with Karen? Is there something that she needs to be concerned about? Let me see. I think this week has a potential of being huge for the defense. A thief. We know that already. Thoughts. A great fortune. And here we go again with this message of concern. Putting this to the side, I believe, first of all, they are going to be talking about how John O'Keefe's life was taken and stolen from him. Only a thief could do that. And you and I both know the type of thieves these people are. Now, before I begin, I am not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not in any type of medical field. I'm not law enforcement. I'm not going to give you any type of advice like that. I'm going to share with what the cards have to say. I am a psychic tarot medium, and here we are. And this is entertainment purposes only, and I just so hope that all of you are entertained, because I certainly am bringing it to you. Definitely there's a lot of thought here, because I believe that the CW has one of 3 ways that they will definitely take the path. We'll know exactly what that is. However, I feel mid-trial they are going to try to squirm through something. There's going to be a little hook, and they may go sideways. So let's watch for that as well. A great fortune. Well, this is bringing great fortune, and it's very fortunate that the defense is bringing a lot of things to the table. We're going to hear some little tidbits, if you will. I know people always say Easter eggs. I don't use that word Easter, but there's going to be some little hidden things, some little key elements. This is going to be pretty exciting. Now, as you know, Karen is a Pisces. So any of these planetary aspects that really involve Pisces will be heightened. And this legal integrity that they have and the defense team has is definitely going to make a very positive, I'm going to say, impression. We all know Auntie Bev. We all know what she's up to. We all know of the supposed bias. But I'm going to tell you, I think people are really going to be watching her. And when I say people, I mean the higher ups. Let's use the House of Zelda. A couple cards to start out with. We're laying the foundation. Pardon me. Allergies are afoot today. All right, so here we are. We keep getting that kitty, and he keeps telling this is serious, but you know, I think this is more serious than what we think. Unexpected news. Look, kitty, kitty. That tells me the unexpected news is related to this, which is very serious. And my question is, hypothetically, tell me what you think. You know, we saw another political person from Massachusetts be arrested this week. He did, in my book, a lot less than Meatball has done, supposedly, allegedly. Do you think Meatball might be next? Do you think he's being watched? I certainly do. I think he's definitely being watched. But you know, sometimes, and I'm going to tell you something right now. One thing about the feds, if you can use one word to describe them, I have many of those, but if you could use one word, that one word for me right now would be patience. They're watching this play out. People keep asking me, when are they going to jump in? When are they going to jump in? Last year. But you know, if they would have jumped in last year, we would have never known what we know right now. This is why they are so patient and why they take their time. Because you know something, they just want to see who is feeling comfortable in their own skin, that they can continue to do what they're doing. You know, the one thing is when you get picked up by the feds, that's serious. You pretty much don't let go. I mean, that's it. There we are. King of Pentacles out. That's the energy that we're talking about. That's the Meatball energy. And look, this is the sign. This is the sign. The King of Pentacles, the spirit animal for the Pentacles, is the bull. And the fact that there's money on the table, see, that's what I'm wondering. Is there some, you know, because let's think of Al Capone for a minute. Remember how they didn't get anything, you know, Al Capone for anything? And then in the end, they got him for tax evasion. Do you remember that? Well, wouldn't it be something if they were able to pick up Meatball on some type of, I don't know, Just asking you, perhaps financial fraud? Campaign fund fraud? I don't know. Could it possibly be? I don't know. Not saying anything. Four of Wands here. Now this is Karen. Four of Swords. And the Ace of Cups. What a wonderful eclectic mix of cards. So I'm just going to say this, okay? As we go into the week, you're going to see, and there's that fiery element that Mercury will be shining down on the defense. Remember, it's in Libra. The significator card for Libra in the tarot is Justice. Justice holds the scales, and it must be balanced. It must be right. It must be fair. In spite of what Auntie Bev wants to try to share with all of us. This is a sign of accomplishment, and it's also the sign of home. It's a sign of championship celebration, feeling good about things, being recognized, having opportunity open, having doors open, and bravery in the face of danger. That's the defense team. This card was next. Four of Swords. It's telling us it's time now to try to relax. And Karen's team, and Karen, as much as they are anxious to get going with this on Tuesday, they will be relaxed going into the courtroom. I don't know if you have noticed, but I want to point something out. Then during jury selection, every time you would see the defense introduce themselves to potential jurors, they were happy and smiling and saying that it was an honor to be there. They were building rapport. They were building trust with the potential jurors. You saw old snarky Hanky and Lolly and what's-her-face getting up there and introducing themselves looking like they're, going to a funeral dirge. No smiles. No, Hank wants to come off as confident, and he comes off as cocky. I do not believe, in my opinion, that the jury is going to appreciate that. The one thing I will tell you about juries, in my experience on this side of the aisle with jurors and so forth, sometimes they don't like the prosecution, regardless if they may be right, because it depends on the attitude of the prosecutors. If they become personable and relatable to the jury, that's one thing. And I believe that's where Lolly missed the boat in the first trial. And I know that Hank is going to definitely miss the cabin, miss the ship coming in, right? In this 2.0. This card will be amazing because it will keep the peace with the defense. And remember what I was saying, if they can just, because believe me, they're going to be tempted. And the CW is going to do everything that they possibly can to yank the chains of the defense to get them in trouble. He's a little tattletale. You see that now. He runs to Mommy Bev. And he's going to do everything that he possibly can to make the defense look bad with his little pointed accusations and so forth. Little Pinocchio Hank, in my opinion now, is not going to gain favor, but you will see a change in his personality. This will come out during the trial. The lover. We'll see who that lover is. I believe there is a letter, a journey, and the enemy. See, I'm getting that while we were talking about Hank, He perceives himself as this lover. Now, let's get real. But he perceives himself as that person that has this magnetic personality. The personality that just attracts others, and that he's right, and that he has an upper hand. But this letter, we may hear about that tomorrow, Tuesday in opening statements. We may hear about this message of concern. This has been a long journey. And the further that we go by their actions, we shall know them. And I do believe that the jurors also are being able to see this. That's Karen. I believe she's going to do okay this week. I do not believe she will testify. The next 30 days are important. We can't make this stuff up. Now, we cannot. I happen to like that graphic on that card. Let me know what you think, my darlings. Final card from this. The Ace of Swords. That is the energy of the defense team, and it is excellent timing. And the swords are communication. So they will be able to control the narrative. They know what's up. They know what is ahead of them. With Alan Jackson doing the opening, I know that David Yannetti will be a supporting role, and he will cross-examine some of the witnesses. Robert Alessi will definitely handle, the majority of the expert witnesses, because that's his forte. And Eliza Little, boy, she is the foundation of that whole team, isn't she? She really is able to stand up to Bev, and I think there's a small part of Auntie Bev that likes her. Auntie Bev, you heard me say that, not Auntie. Anti, as in anti-Bev? Okay, so this will be an interesting week, and I want you to just watch and listen. Now, what I will tell you is starting Tuesday night at 7 p.m., I will be restreaming, or I guess streaming live, the trial from that particular day. And I will do this as much as I can, daily or nightly. So a lot of you that work or that you're out of the country or any of those things that want to watch it, I'm not going to give any type of legal commentary. I may share what other legal experts have to say, but we can watch this together. And we're going to get through this. That's what this is all about. And during this watch time and during this live, I will be pulling out cards. We'll know exactly what we can expect and what we need to face. So that's very interesting. But now I want to talk to you about something that is extremely interesting. Unbeknownst to me, last night during my live, attorney Melanie Little had a live event. Now, some of you may have known that. Some of you may have gone over there. I did not know until my event was over, and I went over there. And I'm going to link her live in the description, because it is definitely worth you seeing. I'm going to put the thumbnail right here so you recognize it. And Attorney Melanie, if you're watching this, we love you. And thank you so much for bringing all of this for all of us. But here's what I think is very interesting. First of all, there was a wealth of information in this live event. It was about Dr. Renee Stonebridge, a pathologist who actually, I think that's what she is, neurologist, pathologist, who examined John O'Keefe's brain. And it was uncanny. what the findings were. You've got to watch it. But remember, our live, for most of you that were there with me, was going on at the same time that Attorney Melanie's live was on. And by the way, she had a special guest, which is Nurse Kim, who I just adore. Many of you know her as well. I'm going to tag her in the description as well. And go over and say hello. Go subscribe to their channels if you aren't already, because they are just, she brings it to the table on the medical, believe me. So here's an interesting thing. During Attorney Melanie's live, they, and I have chills now, talked about, with this testimony of Dr. Renee Stonebridge, I think that's her name. Pardon me if I have that wrong. I know you'll tell me what it is. But, and Nurse Kim was saying that trauma was the cause. Trauma was the cause. Well, look here, what the word we got. And that happened during Attorney Melanie's live. And look what else we got. Cause. That also happened during her live. Allow It was amazing. But then they talked about Dr. Wolf. And this is what we got. There's definitely a connection here. And for that to be happening simultaneously with Attorney Melanie's live event, it blows me away. So we're not going to discount that. And it's not coincidence. We're going to pay attention, and I cannot wait for Dr. Renee, I'm just going to call her that, Dr. Renee, to get on the stand. And this time I hope the defense talks with her, because last time they didn't. But this time they need to, because there were some very important things that were discussed during that testimony. I was very happy to see that and very intrigued after we had had our live and so many indications from Spirit of these words, what was happening. I want to thank you so much for being here. I will be posting. You will see me. I'm going to see you live on Tuesday night. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And I will put the link in the community tabs every time there's a new video getting ready to happen, because I know some of you don't get notifications when you're supposed to. So each and every way I'm going to try to give that. We will be streaming it on my channel, Seeing Crime, and simultaneously on True Oracle, Fate and Fortune. We will be doing just like we do on my lives. So either one you want to be in, we will be there. I will be pulling cards. We're going to watch this together. We may do it on the quick as a bunny thing, but we're going to do it. And I cannot wait to see you there. I'm going to rearrange my schedule to work. I just want to be there with you. So thank you so much for being here and your support. Much love to you, my darlings. You be well. Let's relax this week and know some peace, because you know what? The next 30 days are very important. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.